Hi. This is my first video on this channel, and I'm making this video because I'm bored and I really want to get my ideas and opinions out there. So this is a sloppy attempt at trying to convey some ideas about ambient music and the beauty of it. I am no editing god, so I will provide you with some random Minecraft I previously recorded for whatever reason. So yeah, I guess this is the part where I start to ramble. Ambient music is a broad term. It's one of those genres or words that has a bunch of subgenres mixed in together, like a double meaning. When I say ambient music, you might think of a 10-hour peaceful piano loop, or you might think of a noise/drone song. And while that can all be categorized as ambient music, today I want to talk about the beauty of ambient music, what it means to me and could mean to you. I can't touch every single aspect of the genre, but we can start unarguably with the founding father of ambient music. Eno coined the term ambient music in 1978 with the album Ambient 1 Music for Airports, a 4-song, 48-minute record that is the ground zero for its genre. Music for Airports was the first of 4 albums released in Eno's ambient series, a term in which he coined to describe music, quote, as ignorable as it is interesting, end quote, that would induce calm and space to think. Although it is not the earliest entry in the genre, it was the first album to ever be explicitly created under the label ambient music. Eno then went on to create and explore this unknown region of beautifully crafted soundscapes and music that essentially created a genre of music that is unique as it is ignorable. You have the ambient 1, 2, 3, 4 series, the amazing polarizing Apollo album in the 80s, which deserved a video of its own, and piles of sonically beautiful, peaceful, and absolutely, weird music. To this day, he is still making music, and it's just as great, if not better, than what he built in the 70s and 80s. Lux and Reflection are some of the best of the genre I've ever heard. Lux has these incredible, peaceful, and immaculately produced long synth and pocket of pianos. Okay, enough of Eno. Now that we have the foundation laid down, let's start to explore just a bit. One could say lo-fi hip-hop beats to study to lays under the genre ambient, but I see the genre as a genre that emphasizes atmospheres and tones over musical structure and rhythm. At its core, it lacks composition, beats, and melodies. On paper, this sounds like horrible music, but the use of textual layers gives it the sense of intricate but subjectively boring music the genre has been criticized for. I quoted Eno earlier, and I'll say it again. Quote, as ignorable as it is interesting, end quote. That's the goal of ambient music. That's the beauty of it. The soundscape it creates, the atmosphere. It's music you can put on and completely ignore, or you can dissect it and really get into it. An example of this is Minecraft Volume Alpha by Daniel Rosenfeld. A track like Subwoofer Lullaby, a tranquil and peaceful song that has this repeating synth over a long drowning string. But this song isn't complex at all. In fact, it's really quite simple, but that doesn't hinder its atmosphere. This is an example of something so simple and bare bones being so peacefully complex, it's like an illusion. This type of music at its core is supposed to make you think, ask you questions you may never know the answer to. The original soundtrack to Interstellar, directed by Chris Nolan and composed by Hans Zimmer, does exactly this. The soundtrack at some points sounds so filled with discovery and curiosity, it makes you think deeply, just like the film does, and paired together, it is such phenomenal work done on both sides. There are many elements of the soundtrack that are very noticeably influenced by Eno and his work. Even at the most structurally complex, Interstellar can be so simple, yet so out of this world. The same goes for a groundbreaking album I'm sure a lot of you know and love as well. Blonde by Frank Ocean is one of the most critically acclaimed albums of the last decade, and today still holds up and is still being blasted throughout the world at 3 a.m. in the dark. There are many production aspects of the wonderful album that can be seen as being less warm 70s than 2012's Channel Orange. It can be viewed more as something akin to Brian Eno, The whole second half of this album has such bare bone and simple production, it's insane how much he can strip down a song to its core, and it can still sound just as beautiful as Nights or Nikes. There's no direct sample of Eno's work, but he is credited in the contributions of the album, found on the list of his magazine. I mean, just look at this. Needless to say, Frank was influenced by Eno, and it shows. A lot, actually. And it shows the beauty I explained earlier. The ignorable but interesting design of the instrumentals can really be heard, and it sounds astonishing. This just scratches the surface of the influence of ambient music, as well as many of the great artists that make great music in the genre, but hopefully this gave you more sense of the real beauty this weird corner of music has.